Hello, this is Lore Master Bernard. Welcome to World Building Wednesday, where I basically just spend a couple of hours working on, a random world building project. Just real quick. There we go. Anyway, okay, looks good. This music seems a little loud to me. Just gonna turn it down a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Okay. Alright, so anyway, my past two projects have been, well, the first one was like an island. The second one was a city-state in a desert. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna make this time. But I guess we'll see what we can make. At to insert? What does that mean? So really quick, let's rename this. Wednesday number 3. Alright, so actually really quick, I'm just going to, nobody is watching just yet, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna check out my own stream's volume. Hold on. Alright, seemed okay. Anyway, what to do? Alright, so the past two things were based in fantasy. Although, at the moment, I'm kind of feeling more sci-fi. Maybe make it a mix. Make it a little science fantasy, you know? Yeah, why not? I really hope that this music isn't too loud. I am a terrible judge of... I'm a terrible judge of things when it comes to, like, Alright, maybe I'll just pull it down, like, just a tiny bit more. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, yeah, why don't we do some, like, science fantasy? But how to make that work? Well, let's see. Sorry, I'm just saying a lot. It's creative process is not always quick. But okay, let's start with just something easy. Science, fantasy, ideas. Okay, well, maybe not a whole planet. Maybe just a, Maybe not even a whole space station. Well, I mean, I guess it could be a space station. Like, it doesn't have to be a big space station. Let me see here. How about, like, let me think. What about a trading post? Or no, maybe not a trading post. What about a like space rest stop? Okay. Also trading post idea. Here's an idea. What about like last stop before the frontier? Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Kind of like, you know, when you know, like when you see like last chance for gas for X distance, you know? Like maybe this is like maybe like this is like, you know, kind of like Deep Space Nine, where it's like a station, a space station that's like like just on the one side of like a wormhole, or maybe a gate, essentially sending ships to like the new frontier of space. It's but this is no way. But this implies like a big. That would imply like a whole civilization and everything. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe I just make it like, thing is that, like, with the previous two projects I did for World Building Wednesday, they could reasonably fit into, you know, other fantasy worlds. But science, like, science fantasy, science fiction is kind of more dependent on settings in my mind. You know, like, you can't just take, like, how about this? You can't take, like, you can't take Coruscant and drop it into your fantasy setting. Like, I mean, that would be. I mean, I guess it could kind of. I mean, I guess that's kind of just like Ravnica in a way from Magic the Gathering. Ravnica is technically like an ecumenopolis. It's a city world. Of course, the Gruul are not happy about that. But the thing is that I don't know. I'm having trouble working my way around this idea now. Maybe I'm sorry. Now my eye itches. I've hardly done any actual world building. And it's already been 10 minutes. Okay. But okay, maybe no science fantasy right now. I think this is more I think this is something that I would need to work on, like just almost as like a small setting unto itself, kind of. Like, I think I want World Building Wednesday to be more of a, like, hey, you can just, drag and drop this into your world if you want to. Of course, please give credit where credit is due, etc., etc. But okay, yeah, let's scrap the science fantasy idea for now. Well, let's just leave it there, but we'll also make just pure fantasy ideas. Okay. So let's see. The first project was an island. The second project was a desert. So I'm thinking either like I'm thinking maybe a jungle or a forest area. Something like more, something that is not not an island, not a desert. It can have mountains like the desert did, and admittedly, like the island also had a bit of mountain and forest as well. But okay, let's see. Oh, I know. How about like a boreal forested area? Like a cold place. Yeah, that works. Okay, so cold forested area. Okay. So the inhabitants of the island were primarily tieflings. The inhabitants of the main the builders of the city were half orcs, or were they full orcs? I can't remember now. And then okay, so what do we do for this? Elves? No, elves are like really basic when it comes to forests. Let me see. Let me see. Gonna pull up. Just gonna go with core. I'm gonna go with my handy dandy Pathfinder First Edition book again, which has the same like base races as like 5th edition D&D. And I'm just going to see like what I get. I think I'll just roll a D6, I guess, and then reroll if it's a 6, because I've already done. Well, no, wait, I did. Tieflings aren't on here, so I guess 6 works. 2. That is elves. Okay. I guess we can do elves. Kind of. Okay, if we're gonna do elves in a forest, we have to make it we have to try and make it a little different. They can't be, the Tolkien elves, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with Tolkien elves exactly. Like you can just have that. I mean, my elves in my world are kind of Tolkien-esque. Although some of them are different than others. Like there's variations between the Tolkien elves, and there's nothing wrong with it exactly. Okay, so elf inhabitants. So let's see. What else is interesting about this? Snow, like this cold forested place. Like, Okay, well, what if there is a particular kind of... There's always, like, usually a unique kind of creature or something that inhabits an area. That's kind of just a feature. Let's see. Thinking. What if... Let's see. What if there are... This is gonna sound odd, but what if there are like two groups of elves that are kind of hostile to each other? That's certainly different. Yeah, so like Group A and Group B. But why are they angry at each other? Maybe they have different ideas of... Yeah, they have different ideologies, philosophies, religions. Okay, so... Let's see. Let's say Group A is... like... is lawful. Here. Let's do a thing. Lawful. And Group B is chaotic. And actually, why don't we switch around? Hold on. This, bear with me. So, Group A is chaotic, Group B is lawful. Just bear with me a second. So, Group A is chaotic, but they are they are pro like civilization, artist. So yeah, so like pro civilization, primarily spellcasters and artists. Whereas Group B is pro wilderness, primarily warriors and hunters. So like you'd think that lawful would be the pro, like the, you know, the high, you know, like the high elves, I guess I think they're called in like 5th edition, whereas like you think that Group B would would be the wood elves, but I think it's more so that Group A is chaotic in that they are a non centralized authority. Like basically they don't it's almost like a commune or something. Like they exist here because maybe there's like magic in the forest that they want to utilize, and they want to like tame the place so that they can just, you know, do whatever with it. But essentially that will... Okay, maybe not describe them as chaotic and lawful then. That, like, you could argue both for either in a way then. So let's get rid of those. Okay. So, but yeah, so Group A want to like essentially make the forest quiet, or like they want to utilize the forest for like magic and stuff. But that means essentially that the true wild, the true like wild aspect of this area goes away. Group B doesn't like that because they know how to live here and they like it because it's, you know, it's away from civilization, and sometimes people just don't like, you know, cities and like, you know, and like central authority and blah blah blah. History is littered with people like that. So yeah, so they are like a group, and they are organized in a way, but they do not they're not a city, they're not even a town. They are like various small, like they're various like family groups, I want to say, almost maybe like a very extended series of family groups that have just existed here for a long time. And yeah, you know, additional facet, this is gonna sound, oh yeah, maybe there are werewolves amongst Group B. I'm just gonna put that as a question mark. Some werewolves? Question mark, oops, sorry. That messed up. Question mark, question mark. Question mark. Maybe there should be a special thing for Group A then. Like maybe some of them are... I don't know. Also, it sounds like this music has been going on for a while. Just a moment. Yeah, let's do new music. No. Also no. Also no. I'm using like RPG music essentially. What about this one? Sure, that works. Okay, so along with like some of the Group B's werewolves idea, maybe like some of Group A are, maybe it's just the Halloween part of me, but maybe some of them are vampires? Elf vampires versus elf werewolves? Is that a little too much? We'll just keep that as like a secondary idea, not exactly like part of it just yet. Okay. But okay. So all right. So let me think here. Maybe like alright, I'm just gonna start kind of free writing, see what happens. Okay. This wide stretched timberland and sitting north of a tall mountain range, has long been home to those who wished to get away from the control of the nations just south of the Frosted Peaks. However, recent years have seen a rise in conflict unlike anything in living memory. While many individuals and small groups have come here over time, two now dominate the two now dominate the cold forest. And both of them composed of the long-lived elves. Are composed. Yeah, I guess that sounds fine. So, summer does not come this far north. Does not truly arrive this far north. At best, the frost will melt, but few will travel without without cold weather gear. The trees grow tall and thick here. With most kinds being suitable for lumber and crafting. Edible plants. Okay. So, let's see. Hunting is common. With lodges, this is just an idea. Hunting is common with lodges being scattered through the region. In other places, they might be called taverns, but are rarely even nearby other buildings. So interesting. So like instead of so like there might always be somewhere relatively close that you can go to for shelter, or food, drink, socialization, but there's no real towns. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. They're buildings, and are often, uh, and are often operated by close partnerships or families. Okay, cool. Most animals here are, so, let's see. An idea. Dire animals are more common here than in other places in the world. Because of this, hunting alone is only for the most skilled. For the most skilled, daring, or foolish. However, let's see. As an additional benefit, but this does mean that. Oop, I think I need to change the music again. Sure, that works. But this does mean that that does mean there is more to earn from each successful hunt. I mean, like, generally, like, dire animals are sometimes a full size category bigger than their baseline creatures. Not always, but sometimes. And they tend to have, like, you know, bony growths in some places that emphasize that they are dire creatures. Well, it's pardon me. I needed to stretch there. But in some worlds they have that. In some they're just like bigger, more dangerous versions, like dire wolves. Which, fun fact, dire wolves actually existed in our world. I forget what they were properly called, but essentially there was a larger, like, species of wolf that existed in the world at one point, along with other examples of megafauna, you know, like you know, mammoths and you know, stuff like that. Okay. So what is it that Group A of elves are here for? Are they just like colonizing? There's something here that they want. Is there like a strange magic in the wood? Maybe they just want the resources? Okay, so all right. There are a few strange phenomenon. Is it phenomenon or phenomena? I think it's phenomena. There are a few strange phenomena within the Timberland, and that have not been that are currently unexplained. One is the occasional what if there's something with the dire animals? Like, one is the occasional birth of a... I don't want to call them like alpha creatures, because I don't like that idea. Maybe a spirit creature? I essentially think like a dire creature infused with magic. One is the occasional birth of a magic infused dire creature. These what is the term I want to use for this? Paragons of their... No. Why don't we call them just, let's see. These, these imbued, the imbued. These creatures, one is the occasional birth of a magic-infused dire creature, which the local population calls the Star-Touched. Does that make sense? The Star-Touched? Maybe they have like glowing starlight, like, you know, starry sky like hides in some, or like, you know, some feature like glows or like has like some clearly magical quality to it. And it's fine for now. Let's underline that as like, you know, something that I'm not entirely sure about. Calls the Star-Touched. Another another phenomena. Hello, War Chief. Good to see ya. I'm writing about a cold forest, like a cold timberland, that is being fought over by two groups, both led primarily by elves. So yeah, maybe, and yeah. So don't have any names yet, but I kind of like where it's going. Yeah. So I just wrote that like there are a few strange. So I had to figure out like why like the like I don't want to call them high elves, you know exactly, but well for now I'll just call like there's like the one group is like sort of high elves, the other group is sort of wood elves, and so I'm trying to figure out like why Group A essentially wants to take control of this region, whereas Group B is like, you know, heck off. And maybe there's like some weird magic stuff going on. So I was writing like, you know, what are a few things that could maybe work? And I decided to write that like there are more dire animals here, and one of the weird magic things that happen is that occasionally like there will be a magic infused dire animal, which the local populace are calling the Star Touched, because they have like a clearly like glowing magical feature usually. So let's see. Thank you. Okay, so another thing is another is that oh, also, is the music like at a good level? I also never could gel with high elves. I have always disliked that term. Yeah, like I kind of get it, but at the same time, you could just say like they just call themselves that because they think that they're better. But yeah, like is the music level okay? Like, is it too low? Is it too high? You know, because I'm terrible at judging this for myself. The music is good for me, maybe a tad loud, but I can hear you without trouble. Alright, let me see. Let me just turn it down like 5 points, maybe. Okay. Now. Okay, so let's see. We've got the Star Touched. I want like 2 more things. I have to constantly adjust the volume for the music for our Pathfinder games and recording, so I understand the struggle. Yeah. Also, what music is playing now? The Slaughtered Ox. I'm using some of the I'm using the RPG music that you actually gave me, so. Yeah, I thought you might enjoy that. I didn't want just the same music over and over again, like the previous couple times. Okay, so we've got this. My favorite is Magic Shop. Well, why don't I bring that up? Might as well. Where is the Magic Shop? Here it is. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so we've got the Star Touched. What about okay, that's the thing with the animals. Maybe something with the trees. Another is that the trees sometimes spontaneously awaken. That would be wild. Like a tree somewhere just becomes sentient at some point. I mean, oh, you like it? Okay. Okay then. Yeah, so we'll do that. Another's at the tree sometimes spontaneously awaken. Hold on. Okay. Additionally, let's see. So we've got a thing for animals. We've got a thing for, we've got a thing for trees. How about something for the weather? Additionally, additionally, storms will additionally, there is a additionally, storms seemingly can result in elementals being released into the wilderness. Storms and other natural and other powerful natural events can seemingly result in elementals being released into the wilderness. Sure, that works. So there's like some weird magic stuff going on like in these lands. It's not just a general magic field or anything. Like magic doesn't I'm gonna write down magic in general does not seem different upon examination, but clearly something is causing magic in general does not seem different upon examination and no legends and no stories or legends currently exist to explain them. Currently exist to offer hints towards their true nature. All right. Doopla doopla doo. Excuse me. Think I might have gotten a message just now. I see what the message is. Okay. So Okay. Okay, so we've got two groups, primarily elves. Excuse me. Did I just get a thing? Oh, it's just okay. So two groups, primarily elves. We got star-touched, awakened trees, and random elementals. Um... Okay. So yeah, all this is why, like, the Arcanist elves are, like, you know, muscling into this territory, whereas the, like, you know, the, like, the elves who, like, reside in this area are like, no, we came here to get away from you, go away. Okay, so hoping, okay, so goals: take control of the region and to utilize, take control of the region to study and harness the magical phenomenon of the area. Goals. Keep the region free of the control of the arcane elf nation or any other. So, let's see. Resources for group A. Okay, so let's call them, like, let's change the names to Arcane Elves and let's change the name from, like, let's see, Arcane Elves and Wild Elves? Wilderness Elves? Wilderness Elves? It's a little clunky, but that's better than Group A and Group B. Okay. So, resources of the Arcane Elves. Let's see. I think they have, like, golems and constructs. They're probably, like, you know, nobody, like, their society is like, people don't lift things themselves. Like, get a golem to do it for you. Golems and constructs, extra dimensional spaces, you know, they got, like, you know, bags of holding and magnificent mansions and stuff. Golems and constructs, extra dimensional spaces, yeah, golems and constructs, extra dimensional spaces, floating platforms. Weaknesses. Arrogant. Reliant on constructs and magic for physical acts. And let's just keep those two for now, I guess. Okay, so wilderness elves. Resources. Greater numbers. Knowledge of local geography and knowledge of local geography and animal movement. Or no, knowledge of local geography and resources and decentralized authority. Or decentralized authority means centralized authority meaning they don't have, meaning they won't be thrown by the loss of one leader. Oh, okay. I was trying to make it sort of like not like one group is good, one group is bad. I'm feeling more like the wilderness elves are kind of in the, like, you know, the good guys. I kind of want to make it more gray than that. I wonder if like the trees, maybe like some are on the side of the arcane elves, some are on the side of the wilderness elves. And so like the wilderness elves have to start like coordinating, like they have to start coordinating with the trees, both sides have to, in order to make sure like, hey, how do we make sure you're on our side? Okay, well here's like a passphrase that we have or something to make sure that you're on our side or whatever. And then there's the star touch to take into consideration. Like, just because they're touched by magic doesn't mean that they're doesn't mean that they're intelligent. So they could be like, it's potentially possible that they could be used like by either side, you know? Dire creatures too. Like, just imagine like I don't know, dire bats or something being being like a swarm of dire bats essentially descending on some arcane elf place like that's been put up high in the in like the tallest treetops where it'd be difficult to get to otherwise. I still kind of like pardon me. I still kind of like the idea of like vampires and werewolves being thrown into there. Um Hmm. But it almost feels kind of arbitrary at the same time. What to do? Okay, well, let's leave that for now. And you know, I'm actually having trouble thinking up anything else at the moment. And an hour, like, I've been debating whether I should actually pull back on World Building Wednesday to make it shorter. I think this is only going to be an hour long. Still some interesting ideas. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to call this yet, this place, but it's certainly interesting. Alright, well, until next time, I'm Lore Master Bernard. This has been World Building Wednesday. Next up is, nobody's watching, actually. So yeah, look forward to the next part of this cold forested land, which I'll have to come up with a name for. But yeah, so if you watch this, I hope that you enjoyed my bit of world building, and you know, if you want to use this, I would be happy to hear about, like, you know, the stuff I make up being used by someone or adapted. Just, you know, give credit where credit is due, and maybe, like, you know, tweet at me. I have a Twitter account, at LoreMasterB, or leave a comment on, you know, YouTube or something. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, etc. And until next time, I wish you well wherever and whenever you are. Bye-bye.